Another painful day for Leeds United. Pressure is mounting on Leeds and also Daniel Farke as well. It has just ended at Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest 3, Leeds United 1, where again, Leeds United's Premier League survival hopes are crumbling. They really, really are. All right, guys, what's going on? My name is Ollie Ward. Welcome back to the Ollie Ward channel. Leeds United lose again in the Premier League. And, you know, we didn't deserve anything out of this game. It was terrible. We got the early lead, but Leeds United lost the lead. And yeah, it wasn't good enough today. We'll get into that. Before we do, be sure to smash. Let's go for 200 likes on this video. Forest fan, neutral fan, Leeds fan. Help me out. Help out the channel. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new as well. And yeah, get your comments in. What's your thoughts? I need to know your man of the matches as well, if there's anyone there. But no, today it was a must-win for Leeds. It really wasn't. And to be fair, a must-win for Daniel Farke after getting absolutely thumped and outplayed by Brighton. We've gone to Forest and arguably done it again. I mean, you know, we had decent spells of chances, but Leeds never looked like they had the bite today, which I really thought we were going to come out and do. Yes, we scored the early goal, and you know, I was happy for Lukas Nmecha to get his goal, took it nicely, nice little bit of play. Brendan Aronson sets him up, and yeah, Nmecha puts it in the back of the net, and 2 minutes later, you know, 2 minutes later, Nottingham Forest get an equaliser. This team who struggled to score all season, you know, they get an equaliser so easy. Defenders switched off. And a lot of people was blaming Lucas Perry. You could argue maybe the hope was decent for him to maybe try and claim it. It wasn't the best push away, but I'm looking at it. How's he got past Ampadu and Goodmanson so easy on the right-hand side to whip the ball in? And then the ball gets in, and yeah, they get the equaliser. And Leeds were there and thereabouts in the first half. You know, 1-1 was probably fair going into half time, but I just kind of thought the second half, you know, it felt like it was always going to happen. It was a matter of time before Forest were going to score. It did feel like that today, and it felt painful. And the painful in the title, if it's in there, if I've called it painful, is kind of the game today and how I'm watching this Leeds United side. I was kind of defending Daniel Farke midweek, saying, you know, I'm backing him for now. Performances like this today make you question it. They really do. And, you know, they go and get their second goal, which, again, terrible defending. It's amateur defending. It is bad, and they whip it in. Jacobiol's looking at Roden, and they're all looking at each other, and Morgan Gibbs White flicks it with a nice header. Omari Hutchinson came on for Forest and changed the game completely. Then you take off Goodmanson, who, to be fair, he didn't have like the best of game at all. He played all right. Bring on Harrison, and Harrison got torn a new arsehole when he was out there today. Let's put it lightly, shall we? That's being nice, because when he came on at left back, yes, he's not a left back. He's a winger going to left back. You got to look at Daniel Farke for that one. What you're doing, I understand that you need your left backs to be attacking and you want to go get that equalising goal, but also you got to remember, them left backs are there to defend as well, and he had an absolute nightmare with Omari Hutchinson, gave away a penalty as well, and the penalty was converted by Elliot Anderson. But if Leeds got any sort of point out of this game, it would have felt a bit like lucky, if anything, if Leeds got anything out of it. I know the normal scapegoats will be Brendan Aronson, but I thought he was one of the better players on the pitch today, if we're being completely honest. You got to look at that midfield three. If we're being completely honest, of Ampadu, Longstaff, and Stack, the passing today was Sunday League from them three. Absolute hitting home. I play on a Sunday morning, and you know, I see that sort of thing. No pressure, no pressure. Kick it up the line. No, you're going to go short. No. We'll kick up the line. Make sure someone like Nmecha or Okafor will go and chase it. It was amateur. It was atrocious, actually, from everyone really today, the passing. It wasn't great at all. And the City ground normally is a tough place to go, obviously, but Forest haven't started the season off very well. I think their second win of the season. Of course, has come against Leeds United. And yeah, Leeds United are in a relegation battle. I mean, we knew this anyway, but now it's real blinkers on. I think Wolves, you know, will really struggle to get out of whatever they're in. But now West Ham won yesterday against Burnley. Forest won against us, and they're right back in there. And looks like Burnley and Leeds could, you know, get leapfrogged easily. It's harder to go to Forest and get a result, or Forest come to you, than it is Leeds. Of course it is. At the moment, it really is. Our home form has got to keep us in this league, if anything. But something, I don't know how many times you have got to come on and talk about Leeds United and say something's got to change. Maybe it is Daniel Farke. You know, maybe it is Daniel Farke. Maybe a lot of you in the comments are absolutely correct. He doesn't always decide what goes on the pitch, though. I don't think his setting up is absolutely just lump it up there and hope for the best. I don't think that's what he thinks. But if he comes out with some excuses today, you've got to talk about him. And I'm not, if people talk about Daniel Farke out, I'm not there saying, no way, no way. No, of course I'm not saying that. One, you're entitled to your opinion. And two, he's getting on there. He's getting on the sort of, for me, can't defend it anymore. Of course you can't. But I think there's a lack of quality in the squad as well. I don't know what other manager comes in and gets a tune with this squad. There is a lack of Premier League quality in this squad. The front line's toothless. The midfield, yeah, they might have the names of Longstaff, Stack, Ampadu, but today they look like Ampapoo. Yeah. That's creative. And at the back, it was just a bit rubbish, wasn't it? Yakubio hasn't really stepped up to the plate. I don't know. Maybe I'm overreacting, but we need to be winning these games if we want to stay in the league. When we went 1-0 up, I thought this game was for the taking. And actually, at half-time, I thought this game was for the taking. I think if he makes the right subs early enough, then we can maybe do something in this game. He didn't. The subs were too late again with Daniel Farke. They really were too late. It took us to go 2-1 down to make changes and a triple change of Calvert Lewin, Pirot, and Dan James. And then all Forest have to do is just go, oh, okay, they're bringing on attackers. Let's just sit back then. And we didn't really cause any problems. It was annoying. It was frustrating. It was a typical Leeds United performance. The pressure is on Daniel Farke. We now go into international break. Do they sack him? Do they keep on to him? I don't know if it's to a point where I know fans will react to it to a point of he needs to go, but I don't know if that's what the board are looking at right now. I really, really don't know. But it's a poor display. Creativeness was terrible, an all-time low from Leeds United, and I'm being actually kind today because it wasn't good enough for Leeds United. If you want to stay in the Premier League, you don't play like that. You look at Sunderland, and I know it's cliche, but Sunderland are streets above us. Sunderland are levels above us. They got in quality. They said, I know you helped us get up, but sorry, we're going to bring in someone who's got experience, someone who's quality, someone who wants to come to Sunderland, and look what they're doing. They got a draw at Arsenal. We got thumped 5-0. There's levels to this game. Looking through player performances, Lucas Perry made a couple of smart stops, but he was probably arguably at fault for maybe the first goal, even though I don't personally think so. Jayden Bogle, even though the commentators were saying he played well, don't think he had a good game again, probably 3 or 4 in the row. Joe Rodon and Biol, when that Anyuani came on, I believe his name is, just bullied them too. Goodmanson looked all right, but again, one of his weaker games. Midfield 3, I'm really annoyed at the midfield 3 today of Longstaff, Stack and Ampadu, a bit too slow. Parson was atrocious. Okafor was quiet. Brendan Aronson was all right. Nmecha, happy for the goal. And the subs for me, maybe apart from Dan James, didn't make too much of a difference. But yeah, frustrated. Wouldn't be surprised if Farke leaves or stays. Don't really know. Don't really care. Bored. Painful. Leeds United are back in the Premier League. And in typical Leeds United fashion, we're back to losing ways. Guys, I've been Ollie Ward. Sorry for the negative rant, but I think it's needed. And I'll catch you in the next one. Cheery. Oh.